Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to our live SmartClick session with the topic how to use SEO content to shorten outbound sales cycles. Today, we are very happy to see so many people joining from around the world. My name is Victoria. I work as the Senior Growth Marketing Manager at SmartClick. SmartClick is an agency that offers SEO strategies and web development to help B2B SaaS companies attract organic leads and boost revenue. Today's session will show you how SEO content can actively support outbound sales and reduce the time it takes to move deals forward. To speak on that topic, we invited Darko Davkovski, the COO of GrowthEra, to talk about the outbound part, and our CEO, Milan Savov, to connect outbound with SEO. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, and thank you for the invitation and for Darko's participation in the session.
Hi.
Thank you both for inviting me and looking forward to a very productive conversation, discussion. Hopefully, the people who are attending this call will find a lot of value in like what me and Milan are about to share.
Yes, exactly. Just for the audience, let me explain how this session will work. So today's session will last around 30 minutes. First, Milan and Darko will talk on some topics, and then we will move on to the questions and answers section, and we will address the questions from the audience. Feel free to use the chat and ask your questions there throughout the session. For starters, tell us where you're coming from and say hi. And now let's move to today's topic. I would like to begin with our guest, Darko. Can you tell more about the GrowthEra and what do you do best?
Yep. So GrowthEra, we are a sales enablement agency. We help organizations grow sales. We do this through cold outreach, so outbound, where we practically learn from our clients what an ideal customer for them looks like, what are the challenges that like these organizations have as it relates to their solution, who are the people relevant within them, and also what is the value that like they provide to the marketplace. Then we find the companies, we identify the individuals, and we reach out via phone, via email, via LinkedIn to try and start sales conversations for our clients' sales team. So like we have been doing this for the past 8 years, and like we have been punched in the face multiple times on a daily basis to try and be better at what we do. And I believe that like we have developed a lot of specialization and great results for now over 300 organizations that like we have worked with.
Great, amazing numbers. But I was caught from the number that you are on the market for 8 years. So maybe that's something that Milan can also talk about because of SmartClick and the duration of that company. So Milan, maybe you can share something about SmartClick.
Yeah, we're also 8 years on the market, and we also got punched in the face a couple of times, like any business. But that's how we grow. So as I introduced before, I'm Milan Savov. I'm the CEO of SmartClick, and we help actually B2B SaaS companies to position and rank on top of AI searches, which is pretty popular right now, and also on Google. So they don't get just traffic, but get the right buyers and showing up actually there consistently. I also run a podcast which is called Leaders of Growth, and on that podcast, I also sit with SaaS leaders who are sharing their experience. And we cover like a lot of things like messaging, positioning, sales cycles, outbound, inbound, completely the every segment of one SaaS business. So I'm really happy for this session today with Darko, and I hope we will share you huge value.
Thank you, Milan, for that lovely introduction. Now we will start with the topics. I would like to start with a very interesting topic about how buyers actually enter the market today. So maybe Darko, you can start explaining here from pain aware to pain unaware prospects and how they move and how they enter the market.
Yep. There is this amazing guy who created the market theory. His name is Chet Holmes, and he was back in the days like he was a VP of sales in one of Warren Buffett's companies, like part of Berkshire Hathaway. And his organization had the best sales results compared to the rest of the portfolio. What Chet did is like he has mapped out the market in terms of like people who are in the market today, people who are not aware that like they have a problem, people who are not even thinking about the problem, and people who are definitely not interested about a solution. So organizations or people enter the market in practically two ways. So like the people who are in the market, they will go and they know that like they have a challenge. They are sick of the challenge that they are feeling. So like they will go online and they will start searching for a solution to the challenges like they are facing. So like this is one bucket. These are the in-market buyers. And then you have the other bucket who are people who maybe are aware about the challenge, but it's not painful enough for them to like go and look for solutions. And then like you have the third bucket, which are people who are not even aware that like a challenge exists. So like they maybe have been so much set in their ways on how they're doing something that like they are not even seeing it as a challenge. So like three different, let's say, personas who are entering the market, but uh, a portion of them like come through and enter the market based on like their motivation to solve a challenge, and there is also a portion of them who are kind of like forced to get into the market by learning about the new information from coming to them from like a different channel of communication. So at least like this is my perception in terms of how uh, buyers actually enter the market today.
Thank you so much, Darko. Milan, maybe you have something to add from the SEO perspective and how SEO captures the demand and the people that are already searching.
Yeah, of course. So when it comes to SEO perspective, as Darko said, so when someone feels the pain, they're already in a mood to search for a solution, and now they have options to search on GPT, on AI searches, or on standard Google search. But when they're in that mode, you have to detect their intent, how they actually search, so you can, if you're a business, to know which keywords exact to use there. So it's really important to understand your buyer and understand their searching habits. So you actually position yourself on the top of these searches when they try to find a solution like yours. And there is also like another thing of buyers who maybe they're aware of the problem, but they're still don't have so huge pain, and they're currently like trying to compare maybe more solutions. They will investigate more companies, more offers, and they're trying to make some logic decision what's good for them to actually make that purchase, which is sometimes it could be like a belief that they should have more offer to review more things until they decide, but that sometimes could just delay solving their pain. So it's really important just to make quick decisions as business owners. And these which are unaware of the problem, it's really important for us as companies to educate these people that, for example, right now with the era of the AI, people are still not aware how important this is for them to actually position on these searches, because the trends will just keep moving, and anyone who enters earlier in the process will outrank these who will just wait and sit and pray to something to happen.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And while you were talking, I launched also one poll that our viewers and participants can also vote, like whether they are the number one solution on AI search and Google. If not, you have a QR code there. You can scan it and we will help you out. So thank you, Milan. Thank you, Darko. Maybe we can move to the next topic, which is like relatively connected to this. I would like to ask you why outbound sales cycles feel longer than before. Like what changed in the buyer behavior? Darko, maybe you can comment on this from the outbound perspective.
Yep. So most of the business, not most, like almost all of the business that like we do is like happening on the US market. And I believe that like there are a number of reasons why the sales cycles are extending across industries. So like my organization, like we work with companies who are coming kind of like from any industry that you can imagine. So we do have a good pulse in terms of like the market. And there are different reasons. One of them is macroeconomics. We live in an era of a lot of uncertainty, which is keeping people stuck or keeping them in the bunker that like they created for themselves. So decisions are delayed. This is one reason. The other reason is information overflow. So even though I want to make the right decision or I want to buy or purchase something, a solution, a software, a service, whatever it is, there are so many uh, competitors or competing solutions out there that we get into the paralysis by analysis kind of mode in terms of I need to research more before I make the decision, and then I keep getting stuck in this perpetual analysis mode and I still don't make a decision. So I believe these are the two main reasons why the sales cycles are extending from a buyer standpoint, because there is more and more information coming out them. So like once they enter the buying cycle, now they will start evaluating competing solutions. They will start researching. They will be looking at, I don't know, reviews, case studies. And guess what? All of the solutions that they are researching, they have the best assets already on the web. So it seems like they all look and feel the same, and this is extending the whole sales process for everyone involved in it. So I believe these are the two main factors that are playing. And then I believe from a standpoint of software as a service, I believe that we are coming into one very unusual stage when it comes to software, because me and our organization as a buyer of software as well, now we have in the our analysis and our computation, should we purchase something? There is a question that kind of like a year ago we were not asking ourselves, and that question is, can we build it ourselves? Like a year ago, for me to build a software, I need like it was pretty expensive. Like you need developers. Now, like you can vibe code a solution that maybe it's not the complete solution, but it's getting you one or two, sometimes even three steps closer to solving your needs. So, like I believe that technology, the information, and the macro things are extending sales cycles across industries. This is everywhere, like software, industrial, manufacturing, everywhere.
Yeah, across all the industries. And that's probably because of the rise of AI, of course, where nowadays we all want to find some solution that we can do it ourselves without hiring people or getting other teams to do the work. So Milan, maybe you can also comment on this from the SEO perspective about, how people are searching nowadays and they don't even come to the sales talk because they find everything on AI.
Yeah, so I will just share some own experience about this. So when people come with us on a sales call, where when they're trying to work with us on that, at the point where they read us some article from us, they're following us more time. So it's always like they're coming prepared on the call. And the cycle is not so long. They know exactly what to ask. They know the information which they're looking for. So it's pretty straightforward. But when they get, even if it's on a referral, on an event, but they didn't like did the research for us, it becomes longer. So you have discovery call, then you have maybe presentation, maybe another call until they make like a decision. And in that sales cycle, I'm always trying to learn from them what's the reason why they will arrange us or why they will work with us, what are their values. So if you try to make it shorter, just try to understand what exactly they're looking for when they want to work with someone, because sometimes the technical things are not the main important things in the whole process. But if you educate them with more content on that topic, again, we're getting back to the first question, where you have to know which stage they are. Are they aware of the problem? Are they not aware? And you serve them the proper content, show you, so they went through the whole buyer journey, and when they come on the call, they are prepared, and the sales cycle is much shorter than before. But again, the whole information, everything which they currently know is much more than before, and they have a lot of access with all the tools. So it's just making things more complicated.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I want to add something here. I believe Milan kind of like hit on it. Today we have an erosion of trust in the marketplace. So we are all buyers from like, even though like we sell, but we also buy stuff. And because that there is so much information out there, and now with AI, we don't know like what is real, what is not real. So this erosion of trust is slowing down the sales cycles, and trust is earned, right? So the more, I believe, content is super helpful from this standpoint, that the more content you have, the more trustworthy you show up in the marketplace. I believe that even from a standpoint of outbound and like outreach, when like you are reaching out to people who are maybe not in the market, or maybe they're not even aware that like they have a challenge, if you have enough content, then you position yourself as a figure of authority in your space, and this can help with shortening at least a bit the sales cycle.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. And that's why I think that the SEO content is what actually builds that authority. So now I would like to ask Milan about how should the SEO topics help the sales teams, like how they turn the market conversations into content ideas.
Yeah, that's a nice question. So what I think is, when you do the outbound, you get feedback much quicker. What exactly your ICP is looking for, or what are their objections? So once you get more objections, you have to leverage these questions from your sales call, or from the messages, and just answer them on the website. So when someone else asks that question, you already have the resource to provide them with the answers which they are looking for. And that's how actually you're leveraging the outbound, create the proper content, and then use that as a resource to shorten the sales cycle again. So we're again circling back to this topic. So in short, this is how I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, and I also wanted to ask you on this, like on the same topic, like what type of content that then will actually shorten the sales cycle? Because not all content is created equal, you know. So maybe, you know, you have the topic from someone who already asked you the questions, but how do you decide? Like you do an SEO research, you do keyword research. How do you do that?
This is for Darko?
Anyone who would like to comment on that? Darko, maybe you can go for this.
Yep. Um, so from my perspective, and based on what we do, the way that we, in a sense, get the topics on which content can be created, because like content and SEO content, I believe SEO is like the technical aspect, but the content is what matters, and like how do you optimize stuff, and based on like how do we get to the content ideas, and like what we need from our end as like sellers, is content pieces that are relevant. So like this can be case studies where we talk about a specific challenge an organization used to have. They've implemented our solution. This is like the new beautiful state in which they are finding themselves now. Like case studies are golden content that sellers can use. Then also, articles which are talking about a specific pain. And if I'm a seller and I'm having a conversation with someone and they were not thinking about this, but now, like after my conversation from a cold call, like now they have a little bit more information, then I can use that content to follow up and like send them that link in an email where I can educate them more about this specific topic. And if I can pair the education about the topic with a case study on how the solution was implemented, then my next follow-up call is way more relevant, and I have already established a lot of trust in the process, because like now I'm not just some random guy who called them, but I'm an expert in their field, and I can support this with different assets from that conversation. So hopefully this kind of like answers the question, Victoria.
Yes, it does. Thank you. And I have like a follow-up question for Milan here as well. Like when we're talking about SEO content and everything, do you think that maybe SEO content can replace parts of Outbound?
It really depends. I think it's different, but what we usually do is when we have to answer some objection, which we previously got on some sales calls, we can create that content as giving the value out of it, but then find the proper keywords to actually optimize it for SEO together, because they're not the same strategies. So if you want to cover sales topic, it's different. But if you want to rank them higher, then you have to properly do the optimization.
And Darko, what do you think about this from sales perspective?
Well, from sales perspective, and I believe Milan is right about this, because let me give you an example. So we do cold calls. Like this is our primary channel of communication. So like we interrupt smart people during their day, and like we try to engage them in a conversation about something. And in markets where there is a lot of incumbents, like there are organizations who have a large market share in a specific market, we will very often run into competitors. And from a sales standpoint, this is where you need battle cards. So like you equip your SDRs or like your sellers to overcome those objections and like paint a picture in terms of like how our solution is maybe superior to the one they already have. And this is a great topic, and I believe this is kind of like a standard in the SaaS space. So like you will have these comparisons between the market leader and the new up and coming solution provider. And creating this, maybe it's like more easier from a sales standpoint than like how do you optimize this from an SEO standpoint, because I believe this is one SEO content that like can actually move the needle, because if I am already using a specific tool, then I know that like I have the pain, and very often like I will be unsatisfied with the tool that I'm using. So if I go and start searching for alternatives, I do want my thing to show up as high as possible on Google or ChatGPT or Gemini or like wherever.
I understand. Thank you so much to both of you. Now I have some other topic that I would like to hear both of your opinions on. This is something about the common mistakes that that SaaS teams make when combining SEO and outbound. Do you think that maybe you can share some examples? You don't have to mention names or companies or anything, but maybe some examples where actually you can talk about, the things that were done, but good intentions didn't break the execution, maybe, or maybe you combined SEO the wrong way with outbound, or maybe you did a good job and you combined them perfectly. So maybe you can mention some real examples.
I can go first, Milan, if you want, or
Yeah, yeah.
I do have a lot of work stories regarding this, because the thing that I offer is SDRs as a service, and it's a in a sense a weird function, because it's not a purely sales function, but it's not a purely marketing function, and kind of like sits somewhere in the middle.
Mhm.
Most of the time, it's on the sales side, and there is this infamous battle between the sales and the marketing teams. SEO content, like it's a marketing function, and SDRs are sales function. And the challenge is always when like these two teams are not connected and like they don't work under a single strategy. And this is where all of the troubles are starting and all of the miscommunication and not capitalizing. So the SEO team and the content team is not capitalizing from the insights that the outbound or the sales team is getting from the marketplace. And then the sales team is not capitalizing on the actual MQLs or SQLs that are coming through the website because salespeople, they will tend to kind of like pick and choose and decide before having a conversation. Is this a lead or it's not a lead or like stuff like that. So I believe that the main reason why the overall go-to-market strategy can fail is exactly because of the lack of collaboration between these two different teams in any given company.
I think that's the eternal struggle with every company, like marketing and sales, to work together towards one goal.
Yeah,
Milan?
and they work towards one goal. So like they have actually they have a same goal. However, I never understood this, and the companies who are like growing really fast, they have this figured it out.
Yeah. Milan, maybe you can share your opinion on this.
Yeah, I think the real issue here is what I noticed is the alignment in the vision, because they have the same goal, but each sector has different objectives for them, and they're focusing on their main objectives, and sometimes they don't want to help the other team to achieve theirs. Like it's like a bit of selfish, and it's not the problem in the sectors, but it's in the alignment of that vision with all the sectors. So when they sit together and they define how actually each one of them will support the others for the good of the company and the whole teams, then it started working together. We had like a feedback from a customer a few years ago when they feel that we're doing everything properly, but we don't feel their vision, like why this is so important for them, why they want to grow the traffic, why they want to attract the leads. And it feels like this connection between their vision and what they actually share with us. But once it's aligned, it becomes much better. And I will just add something else here. Some of the companies are focusing only like on the outbound, but when they add the SEO thing, it's specifically for these high ticket deals. It's not only about the traffic which you will attract to the website, but when an outbound team do this outreach, usually companies are trying to validate, is this company real, how actually they appear on Google. And when there is a validation of you appearing on top of results, showing your team, your expertise, and so on, it's much bigger the chance to get them on a call to actually convert that lead into the next phase. So this is where I see misconnections, and when it's aligned, it's working really, really well.
Yep. And the alignment, here is an example in terms of like misalignment. So the SEO team is sharing with the sales team. These are the keywords that people, our buyers, are actually searching for. So incorporate these keywords in your messaging. And the sales team is not doing that because like they figured out their messaging is superior for some reasons. And then like you have the vice versa where the sales team is telling the content team or the marketing team, these are the challenges that like our buyers are having. Can we please have like content built around them? And then the marketing team says like, this is not aligned with our plan. So like maybe we will do this in, I don't know, like Q3 of this year, we will put it on the
And they
roadmap.
never do it.
Yeah, and then like it doesn't work because in Q3, like maybe everything has changed, like a new technology appeared, so now this is becoming not relevant. So like these are the kind of like the plastic examples in terms of where this misalignment actually happens.
Yes. Thank you so much to both of you. Our 30 minutes are over. Now we will move to the questions and answer section. Everyone who wants to ask their questions, please feel free to drop yours in the Q&A section here. And I have also a list of questions from our audience that already asked on social media, so I will start with those. I have one question from a CMO. He's asking, we rank well for a lot of keywords, but none of them seem to influence deals. How do we identify which content is actually revenue relevant? Anyone
Yeah,
who would like? Yeah, Milan.
yeah, I will cover this. So once you analyze the whole content on your website, you have to map out what exactly you have, which covers these each stages of the buyer journey, which we discussed before. So you have to understand what is the content who covers the awareness, what is the consideration, and what are the transactions. So once you know which one actually drive the deals, you have to focus on them to create the next call to action. So what's the next steps out of it? If you know exactly when they read that piece of content, what's the next step, it's much easier for the person to take that action. If there is not clear steps, they will be just confused and will maybe circle inside the website and try to find more information. I hope that covers.
Yeah, thank you so much, Milan. I have one question that I think that is maybe for Darko. It's from a salesperson. We talk to prospects every day, but marketing rarely asks us what we are hearing. How should sales feedback actually shape the SEO content?
Well,
Interesting.
this is the example. So like if marketing is not it's not hitting them, then like this is a challenge. And I believe that today everyone who is like going as a buyer or like is selling, when we get on like this virtual calls, we all have our AI note takers with us. So one of the ways that I believe that the sales team can influence the content creation of the marketing team is, hey, marketing team, here is 25 transcripts from actual sales calls that like we had in the past week. So our basic ChatGPT analysis are sharing like these are the actual pain points. So like, can we please have content based around this? And now like we are not talking about I feel this way or like I feel that way. Now we have an actual proof. So I have a potential customer who is like actually talking about this challenge, and we don't have any kind of a content base. And then it's not only one customer from 25, like 7 of them are talking about this, and like we don't have anything to kind of make our solution more relevant to this. So this should be like escalated to leadership and like whoever. But like okay, like if you have facts to support the what you're needing. So I believe this is one easy way and very actionable and very tactical that many organizations can implement because now we have a lot of rich data that we can use.
Exactly. And I've seen a lot of examples in the past in my career where actually sales doesn't give those conversations to marketing. And that is like a huge problem. There lies like everything, all your content, everything is in the sales talks with clients.
Yep, it used to be like much more difficult to do that compared to now because great salespeople are terrible admin people, so they will have notes in their head, not in the CRM. And then like if the notes are in the head or like on some papers around them, it's difficult to provide the feedback. But today with the AI note takers,
Yeah,
super
it's
easy,
much easier.
super easy.
Yeah. I have one question from a CEO, so maybe this will resonate with Milan. He can help out. He has, if I have to choose one investment this quarter, better outbound execution or better content, what would you prioritize and why? So maybe you can help the CEO out.
I would like to, but it really depends at what stage they are, what are they looking for with both of these strategies. So if you want to get feedback quicker, then definitely try the outbound, but with proper messaging. if you want to establish good strategy, start with content and then combine both. So this would be my answer, but without knowing the whole situation, I can't exactly say this or that.
But it's better to combine them both, you know, like don't choose only one investment. You choose better outbound execution and better content all together by doing these strategies that we mentioned here, combining marketing and sales.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. And as a CEO, you just have to decide quickly, not delaying the decision, because it will just cost you time.
Yes.
Yep.
And
And I'd like to add just a moment on
yeah,
this. I believe that like Milan answer is the right because it depends on like what are you trying to achieve and like what is your time frame and how mature of an offer you have. If you have like a mature product market fit right now, like you have paying customers and you don't have SEO already, like by all means, like do it. But like if you are early stage and like you still don't have the actual pulse of the market, then outbound can give you like much quicker feedback in terms of like how to maybe inform your content and your SEO strategy for the upcoming period. So again, it depends on what is the stage in which you are in and what are you trying to achieve. You want like to close 3 new deals in the next 30 days. SEO is probably not the way to go. But if you want to build a sustainable pipeline of inbound leads, then you
Yeah, and usually it really depends what they actually currently have for customer acquisition. So if they already tested paid ads, they know the group of keywords which they already sell with, and just expand that with organic, it becomes a huge winner. But again, if you're on top of that add good outbound strategy and everything else, again, it's strategic move for the business. It's not a simple answer for everyone.
Yep.
yeah. Thank you so much, Milan. And I will ask only one more question because the time is almost up. This maybe will be interesting for Darko. How do you prevent content from becoming outdated and hurting credibility during sales conversations? So, how do you manage to keep the content updated all the time? Like maybe you update the numbers, the statistics, the problems you solved. How?
It depends. There are, for example, my organization, we are solving a challenge which kind of like has existed since business existed, which is pipeline. Do I have enough people in my pipeline who are potentially interested about my solution? So the way you are changing content or adapting content, and like this is from my perspective, and I am not the most maybe relevant person regarding this, but I would go again with the feedback from the sales conversations. If you notice that like there is a new pattern from objections showing up, this is your confirmation that like the market has shifted. So now you will need to adapt to the market and maybe talk a little bit more about AI. Now everyone wants to talk about AI. I'm pretty sure that like very, very soon, and I believe that like we are getting on the cusp of this, where having human-led or like whatever human will become a differentiating factor because like everyone will become AI. So these are like nuances that you can quickly adjust in the content. However, again, go back to your sales conversations, analyze them. What are people saying? Is it something? Can you find something new that like your website is not already communicating? You have like evergreen idea, like continuous ideas about content. Like if you just do that, like go this week, like download all of the transcripts from your sales calls and go to ChatGPT and say, here are the transcripts, here is my website. Are there specific things that like I don't have an article or a content piece about? And here you like you will get ideas. Now this is the other challenge, and I believe Milan can talk a little bit maybe and touch upon this, but ideas are kind of like free. Executing those ideas and like making them actually work, it's the difficult part. So I can go and like find ideas about content, but then like figuring out how to make that content work for me, that's I believe the hard part, because what I do is transactional. Like I have a conversation, like yes, no, maybe, like, but it's in the moment. Content is evergreen, so like you can get to like. I had a very interesting situation a couple of days ago where I was researching for something and I landed on an article written in 2019, still relevant today and still showing up, like I believe, second or third place. And I was like, huh, so like they've spent effort, like they've added like some effort 7 years ago. And like I am not the only one who found this. I'm not the only, like I am not special one to have like some special challenge. There are people who are like getting here based on a content piece created, I don't know, like 7 years ago, which is still, I can bet, like creating traffic and business for that particular organization. So
Yeah.
long-winded answer. Hopefully I covered.
Thank you
I
so
want to add
much, Darko.
something here, which you mentioned, the differentiator in the future maybe will be the human something after that. What I noticed when going on events this year and past year, mostly past year, this still starting, but a lot of people who were not spending so much time on events last year, but were spending in the past, they were just neglecting these connections, especially in the past year. And they noticed how important it is actually to make the relationship, make the personal introduction. And again, it becomes the trust, which also happens, which also helps in shortening the sales cycle. But I think we will get back to this personal bonding, personal connection, which actually leads after that the next cooperation. You don't know when it will happen, but will probably happen easier than if you don't know the person like one-on-one. It's not
Yes.
easy game, but it's definitely the best one.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for this lovely session. I really enjoyed it. And I think that we can talk even 1 hour more, but I think that it's enough for now. I invite all of the audience to add you on LinkedIn and continue the conversation. So sorry for those of you to whom I couldn't ask the questions and have Milan and Darko answer them. So maybe you can add them on social media and continue the conversation there. And if this session sparked ideas about your own outbound or content strategy, make sure to take at least one action this week and review whether your content truly supports sales conversations. Thank you so much, Milan and Darko. See you in the next opportunity and have a great day.
Thanks
Thank
everyone for
you. Thanks
joining.
everyone for attending.
Yeah,
Thank
hope we
you.
delivered some value. Thank you.
Thank you.